Hello and welcome. Today we will be conducting a lab that teaches students that sometimes you can't experiment, you have to observe. The name of this lab is Scientific Anarchy. The materials you will need for this lab are a dropette, a clear water bottle, water, and sand. The Sunshine State standards in this lab have students explain that science does not always follow a rigidly defined method, but that science does involve the use of observations and empirical evidence. The inquiry question for this lab is, there's a miniature scuba diver in this water bottle. If I squeeze the bottle, the diver will start to sink. When I let it go, the diver rises. Explain how this happens. The conclusion statement for this lab is, when the bottle is squeezed, there's an increase in water pressure. This shrinks the air left inside the dropper, and it lets more water in, making the mini diver sink. Now onto the lab. For this lab, we recommend your students prepare the water bottles over the sink. I'm going to show you guys how to prepare the experiment. First, we're going to take some sand and we're going to pour it into the water bottle, creating kind of like an ocean floor. And you want your sand to fill up about a quarter of the bottle. That should be enough. And then, while we're here at the sink, we're going to go and fill the rest of the water bottle up with water. And I give it a couple seconds to sit and let the sand settle down. While you're doing that, you're going to take your dropper, fill it up as much as you can with water. That's about as much as I can get in it. And now the water's settling down a little bit. And you're just going to drop the dropper straight into the water bottle. And it's going to float. And then if you can, just top off the rest of the bottle with water. Screw your cap back on. And your students are ready to test. And you can see, as I squeeze and apply pressure, the dropper sinks. As I release it, it rises back up. I apply pressure and it sinks. Release it, it goes right back up. After the lab, conduct a discussion to explain to your students that even though the scientific method is a useful tool, it does not solely decide whether or not a discipline is a science. If your students are still confused, ask them these possible questions. What is denser, water or air? Can you compress water? What is the scientific method, and did you use it to answer the inquiry question? Is it necessary to always use the scientific method? Why? What kinds of sciences don't follow the scientific method? That's all for today's lab. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.